Hello, welcome to new videos. Today we're going to take a look at the top 10 Pokemon that are currently meta in the Open Ultra League that are not going to be usable anymore in Season 20. So, be sure to not build those Pokemon if you are thinking about building them because they're not really worth it anymore. I have to say, thanks so much for the support on the last two videos. They are very similar towards them for the Open Grade League here. Of course, Ultra League not going to get as much attention, but if you enjoy those type of videos, feel free to leave a like. Still, back kind of hurts, so I can re-stand up and have face cam on. But honestly, since I don't have face cam on, a lot more videos get better views, so maybe I should keep it like this. Who knows? Anyway, maybe your face is a problem, but what is not a problem is the first Pokemon here. First Pokemon going to be the Annihilape. Of course, rank 28 right now, one of the best Pokemon everywhere in the Open Ultra League there. And actually, compared to Poliwrath, this Pokemon is losing quite a bit more. Also for Poliwrath as well, which I don't have in the video, but I actually completely forgot that also Mudshot got nerfed, so like it cannot even go onto its alternative moveset with like Mudshot, Icy Wind, and Scald. Like still, it would be an option, but it is quite funny that both of the fast moves of Poliwrath got nerfed. But Annihilape actually got hit a little bit harder than the Poliwrath, as we're gonna see here real quick, dropping down nearly 160 ratings, basically being unusable at this point. It is mad though, like it is quite mad that one Pokemon can get like one small move update and completely drop down those ranks to being basically unusable. So this thing here for sure is going to be a Pokemon that you don't really want to build if you have not built it yet, because it is not ideal. What you actually should build instead is the Pre-Evolution if you want to, because the Pre-Evolution is going to have access to the Legacy move Karate Chop on it, which would be the better than counter and making it better than Annihilape, which is quite mad. So Annihilape not ideal anymore. This is honestly, from all of the Pokemon that got nerfed, the one that kind of annoys me the most, because this Pokemon was at one point one of the best meta Pokemon of them all. And Deoxys Defense is a Pokemon that I rated for, that I spent 70 euro to get, and it is completely unusable now. Like literally, absolutely unusable. Like it wins 5 matchups in the Open Ultra League. Like what is this? Yeah, 5 matchups winning, 25 losses. And it was already kind of nerfed the entire time before because the meta kind of shifted towards more Ghost type Pokemon especially. And like, what is happening with that one? So, if you, like me, got all your XL and you were like, yeah, I can finally build my Deoxys Defense, maybe don't do it. Like this Pokemon is absolute hot garbage now. Please don't invest any Stardust onto Deoxys anymore. Also for the Great League, I didn't put into the Great League video because there were more severe cases, but getting nerfed in Counter and Rock Side kind of similar towards what Vigoroth had as well, making this Pokemon basically unusable. And so yeah, that thing is kind of dead until it gets a better fast move. Speaking of being dead until it gets a better fast move, what's up Gliscor? Or Gliscor, I don't actually know, but like, this is a pre-evolution of our good friend the Gligar, and honestly, it's kind of hilarious because it's kind of doing the exact same thing with like Gligar dropping Wing Attack for Fury Cutter. It is kind of hilarious for me. It's not as bad of a drop as we saw before, but like it's still a very ginormous drop of nearly 160 ratings. Also the Shadow variant, it got dropped quite a bit. And so yeah, Gliscor, not ideal to build anymore. Like it is currently spawning like the pre-evolution in the championship event. I think it's going to be over when this video is actually coming out, so that is what it is. But yeah, what I have to say is that this Pokemon is something that you for sure should not build anymore, and feel free to delete those, I guess. I don't know, like maybe keep them around, maybe they're gonna be better in the future. Maybe I'm gonna make a video about move updates for those ones that got completely destroyed now, just to make them okay again. But like this Pokemon right now, don't invest. Please don't invest into it. This is honestly, in my opinion, was like the hardest nerf of them all. Wing Attack Pidgeot. From being rank 8 to being rank 219 and completely changing the fast move is ridiculous. Like literally what happened to my bird boy. Gust now going to be the ideal fast move on it. But bro, like literally, like Pidgeot, no play at all anymore? I don't think this Pokemon will have any play. Fun fact, by the way, there were like 2 normal and flying type Pokemon for the Open Great Ultra League here as well, Open Great League as well. That were kind of similar, because also like those starting boys with also Staraptor. Staraptor is actually still fine because Staraptor has access to the move Quick Attack. It got a little bit of a nerf, of course, but Quick Attack is basically the same as pre-nerf Wing Attack. Just of course doesn't have anything where it's super effective against. So Staraptor is actually fine while Pidgeot is completely getting destroyed here, which is hilarious to me. Please don't invest any stars in the Pidgeot. I actually thought recently of building another one because I don't have I have a Hundo already floating around. I built a shiny one. Luckily I didn't do that. Definitely don't do it unless you want to have this one for the Mega Evolution. It is not worth it anymore. Honestly, I guess like if you really want to talk about the biggest nerfs of them all, XL Skarmory. I made a video about how broken this Pokemon is at the beginning of the last season. The Pokemon was absolutely insane in the Open Water League, being ranked 22 as well. Like, holy shit, man. Like, what? Dropping 457 points, or like ranks here. Completely garbage. 4 wins. 4 wins, that's all. Like, you cannot do anything with this Pokemon anymore. Like, holy hell, this Pokemon is completely dead there. And it even drops Sky Attack because there's no point of Sky Attack anymore. As Sky Attack has the same energy as Brave Bird while doing way less damage. It is mad on how Skarmory got completely destroyed. But honestly, I actually think it's a good thing that this Pokemon got completely destroyed. The typing is just defensively too good that a lot of people just needed to run this thing. And I don't know, like I'm really happy about this kind of change here for sure. Speaking of being very happy about this change, this is literally the Pokemon that I wanted to see nerfed, and it got nerfed. And so I have to say, thank you, Niantic. Finally, Greedent is dead. And if I say it's dead, it is really dead. Like, Mudshot, Body Slam both got nerfed. Dropping 150 ranks here is ridiculous as well. Again, Greedent, if you invest into it, like I did, sorry for you. Wasn't worth it, but it is what it is. Other Pokemon coming up now again, but Greedent is a Pokemon that is definitely way more difficult to play. Yes, Mudshot going to do more damage, but the energy generation was way more important for Greedent, especially as we were able to spam Body Slam after 4 fast moves. That is not the case anymore. You're now at 5 fast moves that you need, and that is all good in my opinion, because I feel like it was a little bit too broken, and so I'm happy about the change, and we can move on to the next one. Dubwool, kind of similar to Greedent, you would actually play them Pokemon sometimes even together. We're going to see here that Dubwool is going to drop down, not as much, but still quite a bit thanks to the Body Slam nerf on it. Yeah, dropping 10 wins is still quite ridiculous. Yeah, this Pokemon is not worth it. Like, this Pokemon is just not worth it anymore. Would need some better coverage maybe, better fast move maybe, I don't know. It doesn't even have counter, it still got nerfed completely here. Don't know what happened to it, but yeah, it's not really ideal anymore. Please don't build it. It is not worth it anymore. Dubwool completely garbage at this point. And we can move on to the next one. This one was actually one that kind of surprised me, which I completely forgot about, but you didn't forget about it because it's very likely going to be on the thumbnail, because I was like, oh wait, it's true. This Pokemon in Surf. How important is Surf being 40 energy for Jellicent? Let's find out. Apparently quite important, like dropping nearly 100 ranks for such a slight change there of giving it plus 5 energy but plus 10 damage. I find this kind of crazy. Like, look at the ranking of this Pokemon. Like, for spending so many XL candy on this thing, I don't think it's worth it anymore. If you have it already, you might still be able to play it, don't get me wrong. I think it's still playable, but it's not worth it. Like, not worth the Stardust at all. But yeah, Jellicent for sure, one of the Pokemon that got completely destroyed this update. Like, what the hell? Most likely for the Great League as well. I actually didn't really recognize it in the Great League as well, but like, this Pokemon struggles quite a bit with Surf, like, not gonna lie there. But yeah, we can at least now move on to the next one. Galarian Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk here is going to have access to Mudshot and Rock Slide. Again, actually not the biggest nerf. There are actually some upsides for Mudshot to be changed, like nerfed there. There's actually also for the Must League, if I want to do some Must League content, some interesting change to Landers now, where you have a matchup that you're going to be able to win now way easier, which is hilarious. But yeah, for Stunfisk, going to be definitely a little bit more annoying to get to moves. Needing one or more fast move to go for the Rock Slide. And oh, Rock Slide is completely got nerfed to the ground, being one of the worst moves to play. And it is just not going to be great anymore. Like, it is not really good. It's not worth the investment. Winning 10 battles and losing 20 is definitely not worth all the XL candies that you have to use for this Pokemon. But I'm kind of happy again that this Pokemon is not as great. I do think it's a good change from Niantic. I do think everything they did this season is actually quite okay and actually quite smart as well. And also, don't think that this is like the season that you're going to have to play for the next like 4 seasons or anything like this. They're going to be able to adjust. They're going to be able to put more moves into the game. They can also bring some of the old Pokemon back, which will be a very nice for a lot of people. So I would not throw away any Pokemon. Just keep them because they're very likely going to be decent eventually again whenever Niantic really wants to. This one is going to be a little bit of an iffy one, because Empoleon is actually a Pokemon that might not actually deserve to be on this list here. Why? Because Empoleon might have Metal Claw. Now, if Metal Claw gets buffed to 2 energy, this Pokemon is going to be very, very good. If it's 1 energy, like what we currently predict, it is not very good, and it drops quite a bit and goes completely out of the meta. So, Empoleon, it is, it depends literally on what Niantic does to you. If we want to see a big Metal Claw change, which I hope, by +2 energy, then this Pokemon is going to be back in top tier meta. But right now, from the smallest change we could kind of think of, which a lot of times Niantic did, was like 1 energy buff. This Pokemon has no play, and so yeah, feel free to not use this one, at least not build this one right now. Shadow variant, good to be generally speaking a little bit better anyway for it than the normal one, but yeah, Empoleon, good to be the final one for today as well. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye. Also, thanks to my girlfriend again for making this video possible with all the things there. Again, I'm a little bit injured, so other than really talking, I can't really do anything. That's kind of fine. So, see you then. Check out the videos on the screen. Leave a like, subscribe, whatever. Bye bye.